So proceed with the next problem. So the first one here is interest bearing. The next one is non-interest bearing. Okay. So the problem here, just kindly go over your notes if in case it's not clear on the screen. So an entity manufactures and sells machinery. On January 1, 2020, the entity sold machinery costing 280,000 for 400,000. The buyer signed a non-interest bearing note for 400,000 payable in 4 equal installments every December 31. As you can see in the problem, you cannot find a stated interest, 'di ba? Wala siya nakabutang nga 5% note, 5% interest bearing note, and yan ang specify nga non-interest bearing. So again, even if there is no interest rate and even if the problem states that it is non-interest bearing, there is still interest, and the interest is included in the face amount. Silbing ang face amount nga 400,000, ang composition niya is na ay sud nga interest, na ay sud nga principal. So mo na siya ang iyahang treatment ana. Okay, so let us proceed. So, how do we determine the interest? So, if it's not non-interest bearing note, we need to determine the unearned interest income. So, muna siya dapat natong unang computon. So, how to compute? You compare the face value of the note and the present value, which is the cash sales price. Okay, for this problem, the cash sales price is given. So that's 350,000. Although the machinery is being sold for 400,000, so you are going to consider the price of the machine if it is bought for cash or if it is sold, I've sold for cash. Okay? So 400,000 minus 350,000, the difference would be 50,000 unearned interest income. And to determine the gross income from this transaction, so you're going to get the difference between the cash sales price of 350 and the cost of the machinery, which is 280, and the gross income would be 70,000. Okay, so what will be the entry to record the sale in 2020? So you debit the note receivable, which is equivalent to the selling price stated here. Okay, dili ang 350 ang gamiton, pero kani, mamani siya ang bayaran sa inyuhang customer or sa buyer. So that's 400,000. And then you credit sales 350,000, which is equivalent to the present value or the cash sales price of the machinery. Then, the next entry would be to record the first installment collection. So, 400,000 will be divided by 4 equal annual installments every December 31. So, 4 equal months, so 400,000 divided by 4. So, every year, there would be 100,000 nga principal payment. Okay, so what would be the entry? So debit cash because we're able to collect, and credit note receivable 100,000. That's for the principal. But remember, we need to record the income that is earned. So the 50,000 nga interest income would be allocated using the outstanding balance method. So kani siyang porma ani, this is the outstanding balance. Why? Because in the first column, we're going to place here the outstanding balances every year. So year 1, 2020, ang outstanding balance which is katong atong bayro nun sa ato ang buyer or sa ato is ang collectible nato. Ang collectible nato sa 2020 is still 400,000, okay, in full. Collectible na siya from today until the 4th year. 'Di ba? Ano siya total na outstanding nato nga kolektahonon. So that's why 400 ang ibutang diri. After a year, 'di ba, there would be a collection of 100,000. So the remaining outstanding receivable or collectible on 2021 would be 300,000. And makuha na sa na siya 100,000 for the installment. So mahimo na siyang 200. So inika 2023 ang mabili na lang collectible nato is 100,000. So yun ana siya. So it will be reduced by the amount of installment payment. So if the installment payment is 200,000, so meaning sa year 1 mahimo siyang 400 and then year 2 mahimo siyang 200 kay kuhaan man siya 200,000. So yun ana siya pag compute. The fraction here is derived from this one, okay, this column. Because pwede naman mo siyang i-shortcut. So for example, you want to get the fraction, just remove equal number of zeros from the first item until the last item. So if you're going to remove 5 zeros here, you should remove also 5 zeros, 5 zeros, 5 zeros, and then 5 zeros. And ang mabilin mo na siya himo na tong fractions. 4 over 10, kay tang-tangon man di madiri, 4 over 10, 3 over 10, 2 over 10, and 1 over 10. So that would be your fraction. And you will multiply this fraction by the unearned interest income nga 50,000. So 50,000 times 4 over 10, that would be 20,000. Times 3 over 10, that's 15,000. Times 2 over 10, that's 10,000. And 50,000 times 1 over 10, that would be 5,000. So now we will record the amortization of the interest income, unearned interest income. So debit unearned interest income, i-debit na nimo equivalent to the amount in the first year nga 20,000 and credit interest income 20,000. So in 2021, your entry would be debit to cash 100,000 for the collection in year 2 and credit note receivable 100,000. And then your entry for the amortization of the unearned interest income, so mag-debit ka unearned interest income, credit interest income, but the next amount would be 15,000 na. Okay, that's for 2021. So if the statement of financial position is prepared on December 31, 2020, the current portion of the note receivable is classified as the current asset. Okay, so this is the note receivable current portion. Why is it 100,000? Because next year, there would be 100,000 that is collectible in the next 12 months. Kaya diba every year na may collection? So, 100,000 per year. So, 100,000 ang current portion. And then, next year, di ba makakollect man ta adtong 15,000. So, that's why 15,000 ang ibutang diri. So, the carrying amount or the amortized cost would be equivalent to 85,000. That's for the current asset. For the unearned interest income, so you have the original 50,000, which is kanisiya. And we have the amortization, which is 20,000 here. So the remaining balance for the unearned interest income is 30,000. Then, breakdown for the 30,000, 2021 current portion, which is 15,000 next year, kani. And the non-current portion is the sum of the 10,000 and 5,000. So, mana siya nga beyond 2021. How do we present this one? So, how do we present the non-interest bearing notes? So, di ba, you have the face amount nga 200,000 and deduct the unearned interest income balance. That is 15,000. Remember, how do we present subsequently? So, balik ta diri, di ba? Duha ka ways. Present value plus amortization of the discount. And what was being used here in the presentation is using the face value and the unamortized interest income. So, katong nabilin nga wala pa na-amortize. Okay, so mani siya ang unamortized 15. Dili ni siya gikan adtong 15,000 nga 2021 han. Dili na siya mao. Okay, sa naman to. Okay. So that refers to the non-current portion, which is it's a last 2 years in the future. So muna siya 15,000. Ya kani mo ni siya ang sa next year ito nga 15. Okay? If you like this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated with the latest video lessons. Thank you for watching.